Welcome, Careblazer. I'm so excited for today. Not only am I super excited about the video I'm going to share with you today, I'm really excited because today is the day that my care course is officially open and accepting new members. If you signed up to be on the wait list, you have already been notified, and now it's my time to let all of you know that if you're interested in working with me inside of my care course, it is officially open for business. More on that to come later. First, I want to share with you what today's video is all about and get into all of the helpful information. So today's video is a little bit different than my typical weekly video. This is a training that I usually only do live, but because there are so many of you from all over the world in different time zones, I decided not to offer it live and to put it on here in the weekly format so that anybody who watches this at any time can have access to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my Careblazer map for how you can lower your dementia caregiver stress without needing any extra time, money, or hired help. You will walk away from this video with specific tools you can start applying to your life right now. Careblazers who have attended this training in the past where I've done it live have shared with me and have written to me about how simply applying some of the strategies I've talked about helped lower their stress, helped them not feel so much dread of the day coming, even helped improve the relationship they have with their loved one with dementia. I would love for you to have some of those same benefits. So grab a pen and paper. You're probably going to want to jot down some notes. This training is jam-packed with information that can truly help you out if you're feeling stressed out. All right, let's get started. Careblazer, welcome to my training on how you can lower your dementia caregiver stress using my Careblazer map system. I'm putting this together because so many Careblazers I talk to wait until their tank is empty before they really start taking their own self-care seriously, before they really start to try to implement self-care as a routine practice. You cannot wait until your tank is empty to fill it. It will be so much harder. It's similar to this idea of you can't pour from an empty cup. And what I hope that this can start doing for at least one of you listening is that you can start to implement self-care and start to prioritize your own health without feeling like you have to completely deplete yourself first. So we need to prioritize self-care now more than ever before. We have been facing a pandemic. There's a lot of unrest in the world right now. We can't see our loved ones as much as we want to, especially if they're in a facility. You might not be able to visit them. And some of the things that you may have done for self-care in the past, like meeting up with friends, visiting with friends, going to a restaurant, running races, going to yoga classes, a lot of those things have been on hold, or there are a lot of barriers or obstacles in being able to do it just based on all the rules and restrictions in place right now. So it is more important than ever to prioritize self-care and to have a variety of different things you can do and choose from, regardless of what's going on in the world and what you have available to you. So my goal is that you are going to start prioritizing self-care as a Careblazer starting today. Now, being a Careblazer, especially a Careblazer for a while, often comes with a lot of side effects. You may notice that you are feeling sad or depressed, anxious, tired. You may feel alone, like nobody understands what you're going through. You might be frustrated. Caregivers are also at higher risk for heart disease, sleep difficulty. Oftentimes they talk about feeling dread, overwhelmed. They are more prone to getting sick. They can oftentimes feel resentful of their situation, have anger. Caregivers are at increased risk for dementia risk themselves, and also tend to have relationship difficulties with others. I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you probably have at least one, maybe even two of these symptoms on this slide. I've seen way too many Careblazers run their health into the ground, lose important relationships, and feel miserable by letting some of these self-care myths getting in the way. So self-care myths 1, no time. This is the idea that self-care requires a lot of time. You feel like you can't do everything you need to do and do self-care. Having no help. This comes from the belief that you can't do self-care if you're the only one caring for your loved one. You feel like you're going to need somebody to help watch your loved one or care for your loved one while you go do self-care. The idea of not having enough money. So this comes from the belief that self-care requires more money than you have right now. You feel that self-care requires things outside of you, things you need to buy. And then feeling like self-care is selfish. This comes from the belief that self-care is seen as a luxury, something that's not necessary. You feel that somehow caring for your loved one with dementia takes away from the care. Well, you feel that somehow caring for yourself takes away from the care that you would give to your loved one. So what I want to ask you to do right now is I want you to pause and I want you to write down, what is your current stress level, Careblazer? From 1 to 10, with 1 being no stress at all and 10 being extreme stress, where do you find your current stress level? Many of the Careblazers, when I do this training live, the majority of Careblazers start to type back numbers around 7, 8, and 9. The high stress level that many Careblazers report is exactly the reason I started Careblazers, including other reasons like Careblazers can't always leave their home to go attend caregiver support groups. They can't leave the home to go even attend their own appointments. So family caregivers are stressed. It's hard for them to get care and attend their own appointments. Healthcare providers, I've been guilty of this in the past, are so focused on the person with dementia that we don't give information to the family on how to handle all the things that are going to come along with dementia. We don't give enough education. And then there's a little follow-up when the dementia progresses or when new behaviors arise. So it's really easy for family members, for Careblazers to start feeling alone, like no one else understands what you're going through. And when new challenges and behaviors arise, it feels like there's very little time or information or a place of resource where you can go figure out how you can respond. Is this normal? What are some of the things that work? And when you call up to get a follow-up appointment, you might find yourself waiting 4 to 6 months, which that's a long time to wait if you're stressed out trying to figure out what the best way is to respond to your loved one with dementia. That's exactly why I started Careblazers several years ago, not knowing what I was doing, but just starting to post videos online once a week of the common struggle that Careblazers often talk to me about. And it seems to be working pretty well. I have over 50,000 subscribers on my channel with over 3 million views. And so long as they continue to help, I will continue to put them out. So what I came up with over the years and with talking to many Careblazers all over the world, I came up with a Careblazer map. Now this map, you're going to need all 3 of these things to best manage your Careblazer stress. So these areas go deep into the various ways to help, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of these 3 areas so that you can walk away from this training being able to apply something from each of these areas to your life. So the Careblazer map stands for mindset, what you think, action, what you do, and preparation, how you prepare. So mindset is the most important pillar in the Careblazer map. This is going to help you with your relationship with your loved one with dementia and all other relationships you have with other people. Most people think that other people and situations create their feelings. When you believe this, this means that you're not in control of how you feel and that other people have a lot of power over you. So I want to share a little bit about how feelings actually work. So you have a situation. This is something that happens to you. Something somebody said, something somebody does. You have a thought about that situation. This is what we think about what happened. Your thought is usually quick and automatic. You normally don't pay much attention to this at all. What you pay attention to is the feeling you're left with. So this is how you feel. Your thoughts create your feelings. The situation doesn't create feelings. So let's run through an example. Let's say you have a family member or friend who says they're going to stop by for a visit but they never show up. They don't text you, they don't call you, you don't hear from them. They just don't show up. Right now, Careblazer, before I move forward, I want you to think in your mind immediately what goes through your mind about that. What thought do you have? Some thoughts you might be having are, I'm not important to her. She's so rude. Maybe she was in an accident. She's probably out having fun while I'm stuck here. Or, phew, I really didn't want to visit her today. Notice how the same exact situation led to different thoughts for different people. This is why everyone doesn't respond the same way to things that happen in the world. So your thoughts are going to create your feelings. So if you have the thought, I'm not important to her, you might find yourself feeling sad. If you have the thought, she's so rude, you might feel angry. If you have the thought, maybe she was in an accident, you might feel anxious. If you have the thought, she's probably out having fun while I'm stuck here, you might feel a little pity or resentment. Or, phew, I really didn't want to visit her today, might lead to feelings of relief. So the example here is a family member or friend says they're going to come by for a visit, and they don't. You have the thought, she might be in an accident, and then you feel anxious. You have a situation, which leads to a thought, which then leads to a feeling. So essentially, you're always in control of your feelings by what you think. It's the rare circumstance where this does not apply. And that's usually, or that is when your life is in imminent danger. Like somebody is trying to kill you or you're being chased by a bear. That's the only time your thoughts aren't creating your feelings. It's just automatic survival instincts popping in. So knowing that 99% of the time, your thoughts are creating your feelings, this means you're in control of how you feel. You have the power to change how you feel about any situation. If you don't like the way you feel, you have the option to change your thought. So that brings me to pillar 2 of the map. You've got to take action. The Careblazer map, which is the action, this is what you actually do. That's what you actually do to change your thought. So in addition to continuing to work on changing thoughts, we also work on building your self-care toolbox in the action part of the map. These are things you can do right now, regardless of your situation. How do you want to show up for your loved one with dementia? When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. So it's important to build a self-care toolbox. You're going to need a variety of different tools to help you through a variety of different days, situations, thoughts. One self-care practice might not be able to get you through everything, right? I think COVID taught us a lot about this. I enjoy going to the gym. I learned real quick that I needed to pull another tool from my toolbox when all the gyms shut down, right? Being able to meet up with friends probably went away. Going out shopping, going out to eat. There's a lot of things that maybe you used to do for self-care that when things changed in the world, you had to adjust your approach. So this building a self-care toolbox with practices that you can use in a variety of different situations is very important. One of the tools I want to share with you today is something called enjoying the mini moments. This is going to require you to rethink what self-care looks like and take advantage of what you're already doing in your day. There are opportunities that present every single day where you can actually take that moment to enjoy the mini moment, right? For example, taking a shower, driving, eating food, drinking coffee, listening to music. I'm going to guess that you probably do at least one of these things every single day. And so many of us let these opportunities slip by because our minds are focused on something in the past that happened that we didn't like, or something we're not sure is going to happen in the future that we're worried about in the future. In the meantime, we're totally missing the present moment and how it's actually quite nice to have a sip of coffee, or how it's quite nice to be able to enjoy a warm meal, or how it's quite nice to be able to enjoy a shower and wash your hair, right? Like you're not increasing the time it takes to do any of these things. You're just fully utilizing the time you're using to have them. So instead of letting these moments escape you, you're noticing these moments for what they are, and it truly is enjoying the mini moments. Along the same lines, focusing on staying in the present moment. This is where you don't let your mind wander to the future and you don't constantly review what's happened in the past, right? So if we go back to the example of taking a shower, here you fully immerse yourself in the activity. You notice the way the water feels running down your body. You notice the temperature of the water. You notice the smell of the soap or the body wash. Perhaps you feel the texture of the washcloth or the loofah on your skin. You just take as many of your senses as possible and you include them in the experience. This helps you stay fully present, and so much of our pain and suffering comes from our thinking about things that aren't even happening right now. This requires practice, right? It's like working a muscle. The more you use it, the more easier and routine it becomes. Eating food. This is an important one when you're talking about staying in the present moment, because I talk to a lot of Careblazers who have found themselves packing on the pounds after becoming a Careblazer, or not really engaging in healthy behaviors. And when you practice staying in the moment while eating, you notice the smell of your food. You take the time to actually taste the food. You notice the colors of the food on your plate, the different textures, the temperature of the food. You might notice the sound that your fork makes as it hits the plate, or the heaviness and weight of the fork in your hand as you lift the food to your mouth, right? So the key is noticing these moments, just like when the mini moment section, but you go deeper into your experience of those moments by engaging as many of your senses as you can. And then finally, gratitude. I cannot talk enough about how great gratitude can be for your health, your emotional health, your physical health, your relationships. There are so many things to be grateful for in life. Even when things are not going well, even when there are things that are not great in life, there are still things to be grateful for. So if you're somebody who struggles with answering yourself what you have to be grateful for, I have a question I want you to ask yourself. What would you miss in life if it were all of a sudden gone? Pause and ask yourself that question. What would you miss in life if all of a sudden you woke up tomorrow and it no longer existed? When you ask yourself that question, it opens up so many different ideas. Like, for instance, I would miss chapstick and wine and French fries and clothing and curtains and dogs and dog leashes so I can walk my dog, and sunshine and the sound of birds and blankets to cover up with, and toothbrush and floss. If all of a sudden those things were gone, I would really miss them. But so many people, when we talk about gratitude, they get stuck and they don't think that this practice works because they find themselves repeating the same thing over and over. They find themselves saying, oh, I'm happy for my health, my loved ones, my family, and my home. And then they can't think of much else beyond that. And so the practice doesn't feel as useful. But I promise, Careblazer, if you go through this is the great thing about this gratitude practice. Not only is there so much research that shows all the health benefits to a consistent gratitude practice, the really amazing thing about this practice is that you really start training your brain to start looking for things to be grateful for. You might all of a sudden be doing laundry one day, something you would normally maybe not enjoy, and you might think to yourself, wow, I'm really grateful that we have washing machines and I'm not having to wash all this by hand. Or you might be brushing your teeth one night, which is nothing like most people really find super enjoyable, and you might think to yourself, man, I'm really glad that we have toothbrush and toothpaste, right? So if I cannot recommend a gratitude practice enough. But Careblazer, there's no shortage of things to fill your toolbox with. I chose these 3 specific things because they're totally free. You can start doing them today. They don't require any extra help from anybody else, and they don't require any extra time. So I want to move on now to the preparation pillar of the map, right? This is where you are going to think about expected challenges that you know are going to happen. They're consistent, they're ongoing, you've already faced them. And also think about unexpected difficulties, the things that happen that you weren't expecting, things that come out of the blue. So the key in the preparation pillar, what I often talk about in the course, is how are you going to come up with a plan that works for you, that you can stick with, that's realistic, right? So many people might leave a training like this and they might feel motivated for a day or two. I'm going to do this, I can do this, I see it, and then a challenge pops up, expected or unexpected, and all of a sudden we're sidetracked, or somebody needs our help and all of a sudden we're not able to do the thing we had planned. It's so easy to get off track. So the preparation pillar is all about being realistic with what you can do and preparing for the challenges that are going to come your way. So when we talk about expected challenges, we're talking about the difficult behaviors your loved one's already engaging in, having limited time, right? Having to run errands and care for family and maybe go to work, the difficult family dynamics that might exist, and the unexpected challenges like things that all of a sudden come and take you by surprise, maybe an unexpected bill, an unexpected illness, an unexpected hospitalization, a new decline, like all of these things not specifically, but in dementia care, there will be challenges, ones that you expect and ones that you don't. So here's where we want to plan. How are you going to incorporate self-care in your life, right? What are you going to do to make sure you set yourself up for success? Are you going to set reminders on your phone? Are you going to schedule them in your calendar? Are you going to take time to decide how you're going to respond to those expected challenges? And then practicing them. How will you respond to unexpected challenges? This is where I like to talk about coping statements or mantras, right? What can you tell yourself in the moment that will help you when you find yourself faced with something you totally didn't see coming? Like for me, I have the coping statement of everything always has and always will work out for me. When I am in the thick of something and things are not going my way, I recite that to myself because number one, it feels good to me, and number two, it feels true to me. I believe it to be true because when I look back in life, I can see that it's really helped and it has led me to where I am right now. Right? So how do you want to respond when things start to take you by surprise? And then you want to have prevention. This is taking care of things along the way, right? Not waiting for the tank to get empty like we talked about in the beginning. Noticing your signs of stress and your red flags, being able to intervene sooner rather than waiting for your cup to be completely empty. Addressing those signs and symptoms without feeling like you need to wait for it to build. Careblazer, we can't control other people. We can't control every situation, but we can learn how to control our responses to whatever happens. So how do you want to feel? How do you want to respond? How do you want to live your life? How do you want to look back on this time as a caregiver? What is going to be your future stress level? If you did not change anything about what you're doing right now, where do you imagine your stress level will be? You answered this question in the beginning of the training. If you did not change anything, what do you think would happen to that number? Do you think it would get better, get less, get worse? You're lucky if it stays the same, but for many people, if we don't start taking control, if we don't start making some changes, that number tends to get worse, and I want to see it get better. So my challenge to you is to choose one thing I've talked about and apply it to your life, right? So maybe it's paying attention to the thoughts that you're having and how that's causing your feelings. Maybe it's realizing and recognizing the mini moments you have, or practicing being in the present moment, or practicing gratitude, or maybe coming up with your coping statement or mantra, or perhaps taking the time to realistically think about how you can make self-care part of your routine. Or perhaps it's about thinking to yourself how you want to look back on this time in your life. Like, what story do you want to tell yourself, and what do you need to start doing now to make that story a reality? Let me know in the comments which one thing you're going to choose and apply it to your life. And what I want to tell you now is that my care course is currently open for a limited time. It's designed to help you feel better, care better, live better while caring for a loved one with dementia. I'll share with you what some previous course members have said. I would not have gotten to this point of acceptance without your support and education of dementia. I am now better equipped and feel I have an extended support group that I can turn to at any time. Thank you for saving me from a total breakdown. It's reassuring that you have offered me ongoing invitations to revisit the course material and forum participations. I'm able to keep my sanity and gain more understanding with what's going on with Mom. I think I have much more patience now. My mom is still a challenge, but I'm much better equipped to handle her. The course was amazing for me. It's so great being able to ask questions and have them answered right then and there on the online part. The course immediately helped me. The course just goes much deeper than information I could find browsing the internet. It prepares me on interacting with strangers, navigating family issues, my own frustrations with dementia, and taking care of myself. It's simply been the best experience in my caregiving journey. Our life has really improved. My husband is very affectionate again. I know part of this is the antidepressant he's taking, but my behavior has also improved with the knowledge I've gained. I was much more at peace and able to take much better care of my husband and not react to difficult situations as much. I'm getting a handle on dealing with my husband and myself with the help of Dr. Natali. So if you want to perhaps have some of those same results where you have more patience, you have a better relationship with your loved one, you have more understanding of what's going on, you have a place where you can come and get information and ask your questions, I'd invite you to consider joining me inside of the care course. In the care course, you have access to private course videos that are not available anywhere else. Those course videos are available 24/7 from the comfort of your own home so that you can watch them whenever it best fits your schedule, no matter what time zone you're living in. Inside the course, I go over the Careblazer mindset to help you through difficult situations and give you the motivation to keep going. I talk about how you can become aware of and change your emotions no matter what the situation. How to build your own self-care toolbox. We go over so many more ideas and activities you can do to add to your toolbox. How to deal with guilt and not let guilt stop you from doing what is best for you and your loved one. How to handle other people's opinions of you as a caregiver. How to overcome your challenges and start living a life you feel good about. I go over my 6-step process for changing a thought to something that can help you. And I talk about how you can set yourself up for success throughout your caregiving journey. All of this is through my Careblazer map system. You also have access to 6 live question and answer sessions with me. This is your opportunity to get your questions answered and to hear about other people's challenges and questions and learn from them. You also have access to an exercise bonus to get your health back on track. You have access to a behavior bonus called How to Prevent and Reduce the Most Difficult Dementia Behaviors. And like I said, minimum of 6 live question and answer sessions with me with an opportunity for ongoing question and answer sessions if you want to be able to have access for life. Now, the actual course, the actual program, you have lifetime access. That never goes away. Those modules remain in the computer system for you to access 24/7 whenever you like. The official course date is Monday, November 16th. So if you are watching this before November 16th, you are in luck. You can still sign up. There are new members that are accepted only several times a year. Your last chance to join is Sunday, November 15th, midnight Eastern Standard Time. After that, there are no new members accepted. But starting today, anyone who signs up can access that behavior bonus I mentioned right now. So as soon as you enroll in the program, you will see that behavior bonus on how to reduce and prevent the most difficult dementia behaviors waiting right there for you in the member area. All other course materials are available to you on November 16th. You can go through them at your own pace, and all of the live question and answer sessions are recorded so that you can watch them whenever you want. Careblazers, there is a link for you to join my program. I linked it below in the description to the video. If you have a question about the program and if it's right for you, you can email me at natalie@careblazers.com. My program is the best way for you to learn how to manage your dementia caregiver stress, and also the best way for you to be able to have your questions answered. There's the links below this video. I cannot wait to work with you, Careblazer. All right, Careblazer, what did you think? I hope that you found it valuable. I hope that you will apply at least one of the strategies I discussed to your situation so that you can have some of the positive experiences and benefits and outcomes that so many other Careblazers have had after applying these strategies. I want to know which one in particular you're going to focus on and you're going to start to implement. Let me know which strategy you're going to use with your loved one below. And if you want to take this further and work with me inside of my care course, you kind of got a little bit of a sneak peek about it, but feel free to join me. The doors are open now. There's a link below this video for you to join. Your special bonus on how to prevent and reduce difficult dementia behaviors is already waiting for you. As soon as you purchase it, you can go in there and start taking that behavior bonus, and everything else gets started on Monday, November 16th. That's when all of the other private videos are released. You'll get all the information about the question and answer sessions that I do live, how you can access all those recordings. I'm so excited to get to learn more about you and your situation and to see all of the growth that you make. Careblazer, I'll be back with a regularly scheduled video next Sunday. In the meantime, keep up the great work, and I hope to get to know many of you soon. Bye.